Part 246. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2451. This kid is a monster. If you don't pay attention, you will go straight to the sky. I'd better find a chance to practice hard. Don't let this apprentice have a higher cultivation level than mine, it's too embarrassing. Uncle G rolled his eyes, thinking this way in his heart. He suddenly felt a sense of crisis. It is really not easy to be a master for a monster. At this time, we must pay attention and hold on at all times. A little carelessness may accept a big mouth. Taishuji was deeply moved, and his expression gradually became strange. Seeing his grand-uncle Ji leave, Fang Fan immediately put away tens of thousands of holy artifacts, and then put the Zhantian sword in it. With so many sacred artifacts devoured by you, you can always advance a few more levels this time, right? Strive for a one-time promotion to become a holy weapon. Fang Fan's thoughts moved slightly, and then he sighed secretly. Master, can you be more practical? Although there are a lot of holy artifacts, they are basically broken because no one has used them for many years. And I'm the invincible Excalibur, okay. It's good that this sacred weapon can let me advance 1 or 2 levels. Don't think about other things. Zhan go to devour it first. The sword spirit of Zhantianjian immediately gathered his consciousness and disappeared into nothingness. Fang Fan curled his lips inwardly. He didn't seem very satisfied with this. How can you be so fussy? This wave of waves, just want to make things happen? Tens of thousands of holy artifacts are enough for you to be promoted to 1 level or 2, and you are also a big eater. Fang Fan complained secretly, then casually stretched out and walked out of the martial arts field of Tiandao Society. At this moment, outside the martial arts arena, everyone is discussing. There are a lot of melons today. In the end, even the deputy palace master was recruited, and everyone was talking about it with red ears. Come out, come out. Boss Fang Fan is out. Tisk tisk tisk, this is a strong man. He successfully leveraged the entire Guangming Academy. The dean of the Priest Academy lost his position as the dean because of her. It is said that undead mentors like Taishuji were well trained by the deputy palace master this time. A second-level mentor of the Priest Academy was simply expelled. The school is gone. The most important thing is that from the beginning to the end, this boss Fang Fan has nothing to do. This is the most powerful thing. Why? Is this really wrong? Didn't it mean that Fang Fan has no background? Did he come from a third-class sanctuary? He's still a freshman, so he shouldn't have any background resources, right? Or how can you say that you are stupid? Do you believe everything people say? What is going on? You know a hammer. People say that they come from the third-class sanctuary or they come from the third-class sanctuary. Maybe it is someone the descendant of a peerless boss, otherwise how could he have such a fighting talent? And this time they were all punished, but this boss Fang Fan is fine. Is this a coincidence? Absolutely impossible. Tisk tisk tisk, it's getting more and more interesting. The deputy palace master seems to be very optimistic about this Fang Fan. What you're talking about is all nonsense. If I were the deputy palace master for such a high-quality student, I'd be optimistic too. Who wouldn't like to have genius monsters under their command? This year's freshmen are really awesome. They dared to kill sky-level students just a few days after entering school. This is breaking the sky. This kind of boss hastened to curry favor with you. You must manage the relationship well, maybe you will really fly away. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2452. Fang Fan has become the focus of the audience. Many instructors are even thinking about whether to lay an ambush first. For example, if the daughters of each family are ready, it's okay to come and get married in advance. Walking in the crowd, Fang Fan clearly felt the sense of attention. Wherever you go, there are a group of people watching. Those who didn't know thought they were watching some kind of horse monkey. Fang Fan boy. This time you have developed again. Remember to bring me with you next time you have such a showy thing. Alone better together. I can't always arrange behind the scenes. This is too embarrassing. Bai Piao walked over with a complaining expression on his face. While talking, he immediately followed up with complaints. Good guy, this guy has a lot of nonsense. This is a lot of nonsense. Brother Fang Fan, I admire you. Gisha quickly gave a thumbs up. This wave is really convinced. Zhuo Yao also nodded repeatedly and said, this is my brother Fang Fan. I was mistaken when I was a brother before. Brother Fang Fan, forgive me, if I knew you were so strong, I should have gone bankrupt and invested in you at that time. Zhou Yao clenched his teeth, and while talking, he nodded repeatedly, with an extremely excited expression on his face. Is it useful for you to vote? We opened this plate ourselves. Whose star core did you vote for? Isn't it still your own? Bai Piao rolled his eyes and complained angrily. It's different, it feels different. In all aspects, this is what I want. Zhuo Yao said arrogantly. Fang Fan just felt a headache when he saw these guys. Wow. Immediately, Fang Fan glanced around at random, and happened to see Xiangfei in a pink gauze dress. There is still a burst of fragrance, the fair skin and exquisite facial features are displayed in front of you, it is still so overwhelming. Fang Fan nodded subconsciously, with a faint smile on his face. Suddenly, concubine Xiang opened the cigarette, as if 100 flowers were in full bloom, gorgeous and eye-catching. You. Fang Fan and concubine Xiang spoke at the same time, and each looked at each other and smiled. Congratulations. You look so domineering on stage. Concubine Xiang pursed her red lips while talking, and then continued to show a beautiful smile. Fang Fan has also eaten pork many times, and in his eyes, it is basically impossible for ordinary women to cause any trouble. But this concubine Xiang in front of me does have a unique and independent charm. In addition, it also involves the opening of the fourth female slave position, so Fang Fan is also quite entangled now. Right now I don't know what to do. This aspect is really a bit difficult. After all, this is Murong Yu's disciple. Fang Fan has a bottom line. Fang Fan boy, Fang Fan boy, Fang Fan boy. I go. Is this right? I didn't respond to talking to you. It's a big crowd, pay attention to the influence. Bai Piao rolled his eyes and said angrily. It's so embarrassing. Sure enough, if you stay with Fang Fan, don't think about solving your own personal problems. This damn charm can catch everything, who can live with it? Wave after wave will only become stronger. Fang Fan's pie has already cultivated well, so he doesn't take it seriously at all, and he also knows Bai Piao's temperament, so he doesn't care. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2453. But concubine Xiang was different, her complexion turned extremely crimson in an instant, and her inner world was naturally extremely turbulent at this moment. There are not only the impulse and ideas of the heart, but also the pressure of worldly vision. I'll go first. Concubine Xiang left in a hurry, and then she wanted to turn around and leave. Fang Fan didn't know where the strength came from, and suddenly subconsciously stretched out his hand to hold Xiangfei. After holding back, Fang Fan regretted it. This is definitely an operation of high-dimensional consciousness, which conflicts with his real thoughts. You, don't you want me to go? Xiangfei bit her lip and turned around, her delicate waist twisted subconsciously to Fang Fan's side. In an instant, a burst of fragrance came along with a soft feeling. Life is at its peak right now. For it. I just want to invite senior sister Xiangfei to the cafeteria to have a meal together. I won this match, and I would like to thank you all for cheering for me, so I am going to hold a banquet on the third floor of the cafeteria. Let's go eat together. Fang Fan opened his mouth, and then followed suit. Good. I know. Concubine Xiang nodded, agreeing, her body gradually relaxed, and Fang Fan could clearly feel that her fingers relaxed a lot. Fang Fan let go of Concubine Xiang's hand in embarrassment, and then said haha. Sometimes it's not so easy to play dumb. Fang Fan, you really want to treat me? Tisk tisk tisk, I have long wanted to go to the third floor of the cafeteria of the school to see it. It is said that there are all kinds of ingredients there. This time I want to open up and eat. Bai Piao's eyes lit up, and then he roared excitedly. Let's go together. We've known each other for so long, and we haven't had a good meal together. Fang Fan nodded silently, then said with a smile. At the invitation of Fang Fan, everyone went directly to the third floor of the cafeteria. In the middle of the journey, Bai Piao was the most jumpy and excited. Brother Bai Piao, did I forget something? Is there still some unfinished relationship between us? While Fang Fan was talking, he immediately murmured to himself, and his eyes shone with a special light as he spoke. After Fang Fan said this, Bai Piao, who was bouncing around, stopped in an instant. Cough. Then what? You probably remember it wrong. You said that your memory is really a problem now. Go, hurry up, it's true to eat the keel. I heard that there are also braised tai sui pork ribs. This is absolutely delicious, it would be even better if there is a little Kyanki whip. Bai Piao yelled crazily, clearly wanting to get rid of this matter completely. But this guy's wishful thinking was naturally wrong. This brain melon seed doesn't look very bright, it's already at this time, can the situation still follow you to develop and change? Stop pretending. I've seen you act all the way. Cooperation, what is important is sincerity, isn't it? I didn't make less money this time, did I? It's a lot of money. This is to wipe out 99% of the bettors. According to our previous agreement, give me 50%. Fang Fan waved his hand and smiled slightly. He still can't see clearly Bai Piao's little trick. This guy just wants to confuse the public right now. But will that work? If he was fooled by this guy, wouldn't Fang Fan's fame in this life be trampled on? Oh yes, brother Bai Piao, you promised to give me 10% before. Gui Sha nodded, followed by Deo Deo. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2454. Brother Bai Piao, you are holding this star core, and you promised to give me 10% of it before. Brother Bai Piao, this time I have risked my life to accompany a gentleman. But you must not turn your back on anyone. Zhuoqiuyao hurriedly followed and said excitedly. I'm a little curious, how much star core did you guys earn this time? Create such a big commotion. Kui Qing, head of the logistics department of Tiandao Society, also came over this time. While talking at the moment, the curious expression on her face became more and more. When she was speaking, she put her hands together in front of her, and the expression on her face changed accordingly. For it. Not much. Not much. Look at the few of you, you are all respectable people. Just for such a little star core, as for. I'll settle the settlement for you later, and I can't let this star core stay with me any longer. It's just been in my pocket, it's not warm yet. While talking, Biao couldn't help showing distressed expression on his face. Don't talk nonsense, you have to give it sooner or later. Just be direct. Fang Fan curled his lips. Biao is such a virtue, he has long been used to it. Give, all to you. Net profit of 183.7 billion. Fang Fan, you really want 50%. Is it too much? That's not too good. You see, we've been chattering for so long below. Can you be less important? Give us more points. You can see that I have worked hard. If I hadn't supported the game all the way, Zhuo Yao and Gui Sha would have stopped betting a long time ago. I was the one who took the lead. It's too difficult for me. What's the matter? Do you have to give some rewards or something? After all, I am a great hero. Fang Fan, you can't be so dark. Fang Fan, look at you, you've stole the limelight this time. Biao babbled a lot. Fang Fan listened to a few words, it was basically nonsense. This nonsense is getting more and more anyway. Boo 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 boo, it's not over now. But at this moment, the profit figure leaked by Biao directly shocked everyone. More than 180 billion. This, how long is this? From the beginning of the preparation to the end of the final battle, it took less than half an hour. In less than half an hour, nearly 200 billion low-grade star cores were earned. This star core is already more flooded than stones. You are too powerful. A general sage-level mentor has a net worth of tens of billions of low-grade star cores. Nearly 200 billion, this is too exaggerated. If it's placed in our Tiandao club, we won't have to worry about hundreds of years of funding. Kui Qing, director of the logistics department of Tiandao Society, said with emotion while talking. For those who are capable, earning star cores is really as easy as eating and drinking. I earned it all. I came up with the idea. At first, none of them believed me. These bastards are all here to fight Kai Yufeng. It's all Joe's skinning. It's too difficult for me. A business prodigy like me is being suppressed like this. Where is the law of heaven? Where is justice? Biao watched as he was about to make another long speech. Stop talking nonsense, there are more than 180 billion low-grade star cores, I only need 90 billion, and the rest will be settled with you. Hurry up, divide the star cores. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2455. Fang Fan curled his lips and followed directly. Biao is getting more and more inked. That's all there is to it, is there anything else to do? Just deal with it, isn't it over? In fact, Fang Fan was rather surprised by this unexpected harvest. At the beginning, he knew that gambling would definitely make money, but he didn't expect to make so much money, it was indeed beyond Fang Fan's limit of feeling. Fang Fan rolled his eyeballs, thinking in his heart, his eyes flickered violently. With this thought in mind, this feeling became more and more intense. Why? Give it to you, give it all to you. It's all my star core. It's too difficult. Cut it off now. My heart aches. While Biao was talking, the gesture of gnashing his teeth was vividly displayed. This guy is getting more and more greedy for money now. Anyway, the eyeballs aimed at the star core and refused to let go, probably that's the case. Then everyone came to the third floor of the cafeteria and directly booked the third floor of the cafeteria. The last time Fang Fan and Xiao Liulai came here, there were only 2 of them at that time, but this time there were more than 10 people, so the consumption was naturally more. But with the return of 90 billion star cores ahead, these are not things. Although it is not allowed to pay for star cores on the third floor of the cafeteria, you can only use credits, but credits also have a price standard. Normally, if you are willing to spend 20,000 to 30,000 low-grade star cores to exchange for credits, there is a high probability that it will not be a problem. Thank you for inviting me to dinner. Is this a date? Concubine Xiang, who was wearing a pink gauze dress, took a mouthful of dragon meat, and then followed suit. This hint is also very strong. Anyway, it is hinting at madness. What does Fang Fan say? No matter how you say it is not appropriate. How does this even involve a date? Are you thinking a little too much? In fact, what Fang Fan is thinking about right now is the task of the fourth female slave position. He has already looked back and forth on the mission panel many times. Too difficult. He can't afford to delay, the punishment for this task is a bit heavy. Fang Fan concentrated his attention, and then read the relevant regulations carefully again. Mission name, the fourth female slave. Task introduction, recruit the woman Xiangfei in front of you as your slave girl. You only need to let her call the host master. Note, only verbal consent is required. Task time limit, 1 month. Mission reward, open the fourth female slave position. Mission penalty, 50% chance of not doing anything from now on. Remarks, take action if you're excited. Remember, only scumbags will make choices, and the choices of host bosses are generally accepted. The effect of the fourth female slave position, the charm of the host is infinitely superimposed, and the fifth limb of the host will have a chance to be tempered, and the toughness and strength will be increased by 10 times. He only has 1 month to complete this task. The mission requirements are the same as before, all you need to do is ask concubine Xiang to call herself master. The reward, of course, is to open the fourth female slave position, and there are corresponding benefits, such as increasing the charm value, and then one's related physical abilities can be greatly improved. In the past, many times, I could only rely on the holy level Yang strengthening card to fight again, but it may not be used in the future. This special effect may seem ordinary, but if you really count it, it is also extremely powerful. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2456. Fang Fan's eyeballs followed suit. It's hard for him to speak now. Let people call themselves master? How the hell do you speak? Especially when they are not very familiar with each other, can some jokes be made like this? We still have some keel wine here, do you want it? Looking at you enjoying your meal today, even if it was given to you by our cafeteria. The person in charge of the third floor of the cafeteria was talking, and then moved over a large jar. According to preliminary estimates, there are dozens of caddies in it. Fang Fan was in a state of entanglement at the moment, and when he saw the wine, he immediately breathed a sigh of relief. Although drinking alcohol is not good, I have to admit that after drinking alcohol, it can indeed improve the courage to a certain extent. Everyone pour a little. Don't waste the heart of the boss. Eat and drink well. Fang Fan casually said something, then poured himself a big glass and drank it down. This keel wine is spicy but not pungent. After drinking it, I feel extraordinarily smooth. Even the depths of my heart have become swaying, this feeling is inexplicably comfortable. After drinking a little keel wine, Fang Fan suddenly felt a little hot. My originally silent heart also became restless. If it was embarrassing at first, it doesn't seem so embarrassing now. As long as we continue to work hard and have a few more glasses, we should be almost done. Immediately, Fang Fan drank the keel wine 1 cup after another, as if he was a Dionysus. You stop drinking. What are you doing drinking so much alcohol? It hurts your health. Can you feel sorry for your body a little bit? What are you doing? Is there something bothering you? Can you talk to me? I think you are a person with a lot of stories. Concubine Xiang also poured herself a glass of wine, and she was talking with a curious look on her face. I cough. Actually, it's nothing to worry about. That's what, I have a unique hobby. And now the addict of this fetish. Fang Fan opened his mouth, he was so embarrassed at the moment, even in the state of drinking dragon bone wine, he was still so embarrassed that he flew up. Hobby. Still addicted? So weird. Then are you okay? You're not sick, are you? Concubine Xiang suddenly showed concern on her face. I'm really sick. I have a disease that makes me feel uncomfortable when I can't hear others calling me master. It would be nice if someone called me master. While Fang Fan was talking, he immediately drank the keel wine in the cup, and the energy accumulated in his body exploded more and more at this moment. It was that kind of feeling, which seemed refreshing and exciting. What kind of eccentricity is this? You have a problem. Why do you like people to call you master? Do you have any unreasonable thoughts? You don't have a hobby, do you? I heard that kind of person is scary. Oh my God. You wouldn't be this kind of person, would you? Do you still like to whip people with a whip? Do you still like to drip wax on people with a candle? While talking, Concubine Xiang immediately made all-round speculations. Fang Fan was stunned for a moment. Forget about the whip, why even drops of wax came out? Are you playing so hard? Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2457. It's all over. That's not the case. But there is still some consolation, at least the task of the fourth female slave position has been completed. Overall, it's not too bad right now. Drink wine. Continue to drink. Such a good atmosphere, don't let it go to waste. Fang Fan bit the bullet and waved his hand and said, that's all he can say at this time. This extremely embarrassing plot happened anyway. Embarrassment is embarrassment, things still have to go on. Fang Fan's eyes flickered towards the surroundings, then strode forward, and continued to drink the keel wine in one gulp. In any case, it's easiest to do it now. Anyway, in the end, everyone was dizzy and unconscious. The final consciousness seemed to be Fang Fan attached to a fragrant body. I don't know how long it has been. Pain, severe pain hit. Fang Fan's consciousness gradually began to recover. Cough. Cough cough cough. Fang Fan coughed violently, then let out a mouthful of turbid air silently. He actually felt very refreshed, and his whole body became floaty. Fang Fan glanced around, and the expression on his face changed somewhat. There is no doubt that his body is a bed. The clean white sheets look very eye-catching. Fang Fan's legs moved subconsciously, and a soft touch came over him. A cry sounded like a wild cat. Fang Fan's mouth gradually opened, and the expression on his face seemed a bit weird. Is this a crime? This was Fang Fan's first impression. A white beauty emerged from the quilt, and she looked a little familiar. You're finally awake. Snort. Murong Yu clenched his red lips, and directly opened his mouth to attack Fang Fan's shoulder, with a look of resentment on his face. You. Why are you here? That's not right. I was. Fang Fan was stunned, this seemed a little strange. What's wrong with me? I let you down. There's another one in there. You are not allowed to drink in the future. You are too crazy after drinking. While talking, Murong Yu frowned subconsciously. At this moment, her fair skin was exposed in the air, and there were bruises everywhere. Fang Fan's eyes subconsciously glanced around. This looks a bit awkward. Although he didn't know what happened just now, he could be sure that it must have something to do with him. What other reactions can there be in drunkenness? Then it exploded directly. As for the other thing Murong you said, Fang Fan's heart trembled slightly. Could it be? Fang Fan lifted the quilt and saw Xiao Liulai's pretty face. At this moment, Xiao Liulai was hugging into a ball, trembling slightly, her face turned pale and frightened. However, there seems to be a hint of enjoyment in this panic. Anyway, it's a very complicated expression. You are a pervert. I told you to let me go, I can't take it anymore, you still want to treat me like that. You are so cruel. Fortunately, Master finally came and saved me. Otherwise I will be killed by you. I will never be able to stay alone with you in the future. Little Liulai trembled and ran directly to Murong Yu's side, as if Fang Fan was some kind of scourge. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2458. Fang Fan is broken. Really broken. The previous memory stopped at drinking Kiel wine. At that time, it seemed to alleviate the embarrassment, so I drank more. In the end it became like this. This still made Fang Fan feel inexplicable. At the end of the memory, he seems to be attached to a body with a strong fragrance. I remember it seemed like concubine Xiang at the end. Fang Fan's eyes scanned the surrounding area, and the sense of astonishment on his face became more and more intense. You still have the nerve to say Xiangfei? That's my disciple. No. And Li Yulai is also my disciple. You really are a watery scumbag. Murong Yu gritted his teeth and commented deeply. Fang Fan smiled wryly, why is this so flirtatious, the description is a bit wrong. After that, what happened? Why are all my memories gone? Didn't you eat and drink on the third floor of the cafeteria? Fang Fan pondered and continued to ask. Then you got drunk, Xiao Liulai and Xiangfei sent you here. Murong Yu rolled his eyes and said angrily. Then what? Fang Fan blinked and continued to ask. Then you're out of character. Anyway, that's what happened. Do you want to know any more details? Anyway, you've been in that state for more than 20 hours. You pervert, if I hadn't come, Xiao Liulai would have been tortured to death by you. How have you changed now? Although you were okay before, but compared to now, it's very different. I feel like I've been replaced. While talking, Murong Yu glanced around Fang Fan, with a puzzled look on his face. The only way to know the difference is to experience it. For it. Can you stop thinking about it? Fang Fan curled his lips, it's really hard for him to answer. The reason why the combat power in this area is strengthened is naturally because of the special effect bonus of the fourth female slave position. His special parts have been strengthened tenfold. This is a good thing, but also a bad thing. Good things are naturally more majestic, and bad things are naturally hurtful. There is no doubt that there will be some scalp tingling in everything to the extreme. In fact, what Fang Fan is most concerned about now is what happened later. Some specific details, such as, did anything happen between him and Xiangfei? That's the behavior pattern after drunkenness, it's too inhuman. That. Is Xiangfei alright? Didn't hurt her or anything. Fang Fan helped his forehead, and then said, it is really too difficult now. Ask her yourself. Why? Is this what you care about? Can you take back your thoughts? It's really endless. Dirty. Murong Yu glared at Fang Fan, and complained angrily. At this moment, Fang Fan basically ignores these evaluations. As far as he is concerned, this has no harm at all. These are all normal expressions, which are too normal. After continuing to have fun in the dormitory for a few days, Fang Fan walked out with eyes full. This special ability with a tenfold bonus is indeed somewhat useful. No matter how much I struggle now, I don't feel tired, but feel more and more comfortable. Probably that feeling. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2459. In the next few days, Fang Fan was thinking about how to summon the Sanctuary Thunder Tribulation as soon as possible, and he should also think about advancing to the Sanctuary Realm. It's not a problem to keep procrastinating like this. At the same time, he also prepared a Sanctuary Lightning Tribulation exemption card for himself. Save time and encounter another wave of suppression. After this wave, who can hold on? It's just that it's not that simple to practice. I searched the card auction system before, but I didn't find any good cards. Could it be that I can only practice by myself? In the past, it was all the way to soar, but now it's not hanging, and I really don't know how to practice. And this promotion to the Sanctuary Realm has really become a demon of mine. Fang Fan frowned, then sighed silently. Before, Xiao Liulai and him were in the quasi-sacred realm, but because Xiao Liulai accompanied him to the third floor of the cafeteria to eat a meal of dragon liver and phoenix gall, and because he had accumulated enough energy, he was promoted as a matter of course. It's just that when he comes to him, this energy seems to be accumulating dissatisfaction forever. Speaking of which, there is a lot of tonic energy in recent days, such as dragon meat, Tai Sui pork ribs, Suanweo soup, white tiger essence. I have eaten everything. According to the normal peak quasi-sage, I am afraid he has been promoted long ago, but it has not been enough for him. Fang Fan is also worried. Too difficult. The melon seeds in this head are about to burst. As for those pills sent by that cheap master Uncle G, he also took a lot of them, but they didn't see any effect. Fang Fan seems to have encountered some bottleneck now. This feeling is very tangled. Fang Fan has been worrying these past few days. Murong Yu and Xiao Liulai can naturally see it. Especially in recent days, Fang Fan has been practicing more and more diligently. From time to time there is still a sigh. After this wave, it is very real. Actually, your cultivation speed is already very fast. It's too late, now is the time to calm down and lay the foundation. Especially your current combat power is seriously mismatched with your cultivation base, and you must pay more attention to your own foundation. Blindly pursuing combat power, sometimes it is possible to harm your own origin. This will have a certain impact on your future practice path. From the perspective of someone who has experienced it, Murong Yu advised Fang Fan that some things must be clarified. At this moment, all aspects must be paid attention to. Murong Yu is now in the Saint Venerable realm, so he naturally has a certain ability to guide Fang Fan's practice at this moment. It's just that she doesn't know much about Fang Fan's situation. The reason why his combat power is strong is that on the one hand, he has the bonus effect of the female slave position, which allows him to increase his combat power by a level all the time. On the other hand, at critical moments, they all shared the combat power of those divine pets. In fact, to some extent, his fighting power is not so strong. The road to cultivation is endless. I still have to continue to practice. Is there any quick shortcut? I don't have much time to delay. Fang Fan stretched, then followed suit. Why are you trying to take a shortcut again? How can there be so many shortcuts on the road of cultivation? If you continue like this, you will really hurt your origin. Murong Yu clenched his red lips, and then he muttered beside him. Her cultivation experience can be learned, but not copied. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2460. After all, Fang Fan's own cultivation path is also unique, and it is basically difficult to copy. Seeing Fang Fan's silence, Murong Yu continued, You If you really want to speed up your cultivation, you can go to the Tower of Light. Under the Tower of Light, there is a ray of divine fire burning, which can speed up cultivation to a certain extent. According to the normal cultivation environment, the speed of cultivation at the top of the Tower of Light should be 100 times faster than normal cultivation. But don't think about it too much, it's too difficult to practice on the top of the tower. Generally speaking, only saintly realm practitioners can stay in it for a few minutes. The Tower of Light has 9 floors. The 9th floor is the top floor, which can increase the speed of cultivation by 100 times. 1 to 3 layers can increase the cultivation speed by 2 to 10 times. 4th to 6th floors can increase the cultivation speed by 20 to 50 times. Gradually upgrade from the 7th floor to the 9th floor, the highest increase is 100 times the speed of cultivation. Didn't you take the first place in the freshman assessment? The first one in this year's assessment has 100 hours of training time from Guangming Academy. You can use it to your advantage. But you must do what you can. If you feel that you can't go on in the Tower of Light, you must come down. While talking, Mirongyu hurriedly reminded him that he was afraid that Fang Fan would be too excited and hurt his body. The Tower of Light. So I do remember. I have 100 hours of training time here. For now, it's enough. Fang Fan nodded, and found a way. Without further delay, Fang Fan directly asked Mirongyu to take him to the place where the Tower of Light was. At this moment, there are quite a lot of people gathered around the Tower of Light, but very few people enter and leave at the entrance of the tower. These people sat cross-legged around the Tower of Light and meditated. Fang Fan glanced over, there might be thousands of people. Directly encircling the Tower of Light is impenetrable. Are they practicing? Why don't you go in? Fang Fan raised his eyebrows, his expression changed. What are you thinking? Do you know how precious the time and opportunity to practice in the Tower of Light are? And the school stipulates that this training time cannot be transferred to other people. Every student who gets it can only use it for himself. However, there are too few students who can get the time to practice in the Tower of Light, even if they are mentors, there is only a small amount of time per year. However, even if you can't enter the Tower of Light to practice, it's also very good to practice outside. After all, there is a trace of divine vein fire underneath, which can also increase the speed of cultivation. Over time, the area around the Tower of Light has become a holy place for cultivation. Many people come here to practice every day. The closer to the Tower of Light, the more precious it is. Mirongyu explained in a comprehensive way. Is this? Fang Fan's eyes scanned the surrounding area, and suddenly his eyes lit up. Of the 9-story Tower of Light in front of me, only the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 6th floors are bright, and the others are all off. What does it mean? This also has automatic brightness adjustment. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes, and the astonishment on his face involuntarily increased.